Hi there. How you been doing? I am hoping that this video will upload. And if not, I'm gonna keep trying. Um, I've been a little busy putting my thoughts in order and trying to listen. Try to understand myself, trying to understand a lot of things that a lot of us feel that we know what we sense, what we feel, and at the same time, we think, how do I know all this? But at the same time, how am I acting so stupid? Does that make sense? Perhaps I should not call myself or any of us stupid, but we can be a little silly. um, I was just meditating a little bit, and I didn't finish the meditation. It was just 15 minutes, but I think I stopped around 12 minutes because this came to my mind and I heard always rushing. I have said in a previous video about writing down or put it on your mirror or make a list, trying to remind yourself how strong you are or something like that. Most of the time I do not go back and listen to my own videos. And something, as I said, it came up that it says always rushing, always rushing. And it reminded me, or more so, about remembering that sometimes I have done it in the past. I don't think I've done it for a couple years now. But I remember a couple of years ago I made a list of some goals. I wanted to obtain my GED. I wanted to obtain my green card. I wanted to obtain custody of my daughter, and some other things that I cannot remember because I think I threw the list away. And I did obtain the first ones that I mentioned, but I feel that sometimes we put a certain limit or a timestamp. That's the word, a timestamp, where we are trying to obtain certain things. Where you say, I'm gonna meet my goal, let's say in 2 months, about bettering myself. And the thing is that we tend to rush it. We tend to think that we have to change those things. We have to obtain it. We have to meet it at that certain time, or otherwise we start feeling like a failure, right? If we don't meet that time, that goal, that time stamp, where you have said perhaps, I must have to do it that time because otherwise I may not be a good person. I may not be enough because I didn't meet that goal. And the problem can be you might start getting anxious. You might start feeling like you are nothing, you are not enough, or you feel that you have failed yourself. I know because I've been there. But now that I've been trying to change still certain patterns, I do write down patterns that I see that why keep doing the same thing, right? Why sometimes I feel that I have the answer and at the same time it is not what I expected. Because at the end, I am made of an image of a God or the universe, or whichever you want to call it. Or maybe it's anything that, whether you believe it or not, right? And sometimes I have felt like a failure because I have said, I didn't do it, I didn't reach my goal. I, you know, I'm sure a lot of you have done that, where you feel that you are nothing. And then we allow that energy to creep in and make us feel tiny, super tiny. And that's the thing. We are rushing it. Think of yourself like a plant. I know a lot of you could say that, ah, I am not good with plants. And yes, think of yourself like that, because we are tiny seeds that we have to grow, that we have to be nourished, that we have to love ourselves, that we have to do a lot of things so that we can, is the word sprung? I don't know, that word just came to my mind. That we have to flourish, that we have to look beautiful. And sometimes we don't feel that because it wasn't taught to ourselves, right? A lot of us come with a background that it is so damaging. It is something that does not allow us to succeed because our brain, our subconscious, keeps going back to that, to a lot of trauma, to a lot of things that does not allow us to move on, does not allow us to appreciate ourselves. And that's when we fail and frustration happens. And that's the thing. If we don't give ourselves at least 5 minutes, and you may say, I don't have time for 5 minutes, then 3, or maybe even 1. And I understand there is a lot going on. There's a lot of downfalls going on. There's a lot of crazy things going on. But you don't have to see that. You can keep yourself out of that. You can allow yourself to be in traffic, rush, stuck. But you are in charge of this. Don't rush your goals. Don't try to say that in a month I'm going to, I don't know, lose some amount of X, weight or something like that. And then a month gets here and you haven't been able to done it. And the thing is that you have to give it time. I know we live in rush. We are rushing. We are always moving. And we do not appreciate ourselves. We do not appreciate what are we doing. It's like, what is, I don't know, think of ice cream. And you may think, I'm allergic. Just, go with it. It doesn't have to be ice cream. It can be anything else you enjoy. And that's the thing. We don't enjoy it because we are rushing ourselves. We are trying just to get there. And sometimes in the process, hurting ourselves. And that's when we get mad, we get angry, we get disappointed. I think that you get that, right? So just allow yourself to get there in its time. Some things will happen because they are meant to be, but others, not so much. In its due time, it will happen. I know, because for me, some things have been happening, and others I've been feeling like, oh, my prayer or my list or my goal is not being heard. But it's more so because I'm trying to rush it. My daughter told me, and it's due time. And yes, some part of me knows it, but other part of me is like, but I need it right now. Because, hello, I got this going on. And sometimes you have to let it go. And little by little, I'm allowing it. I'm allowing that, letting it go. Some of you will be able to understand how to. I cannot tell you exactly how. All I know is that if you keep fighting yourself, that's more struggle. As I said, I understand you need it right now. But if you are in the process of growing, changing, tired, I don't know, all the emotions, life is not gonna give it like that. It's not going to give it up like that. It's gonna teach you that let it go. So stop rushing yourself. Allow yourself to be that tiny seed to grow up like a big tree or something else. And then you'll see. Then it will happen. All right. I hope you will have a great weekend or whenever this decides to upload. I'll talk to you another time. Have a beautiful weekend or the upcoming week. Whenever we can, meet again. And I hope that whatever is going on, that you give yourself a big hug as usual and look at yourself and know that you are on the right path. All right. I love you and I'm sending you a big hug. Bye.